All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear her?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good.
You
Everybody
ready?
good?
1,
Yeah.
2, 3. Hey,
Wait,
everybody.
you gotta give the thumbs up from him.
Oh.
Bruh. All right.
All
All
right.
right, let's go. Hey, everybody. It's Kendra, hashtag birthday girl. And we have.
Miss Moreno, a.k.a. Jaime, a.k.a. The Man.
And I'm Leo.
And we got
cameraman.
Leo.
And we have a special guest. Drummer, please.
You already introduced him.
Leo. Oh.
Yeah.
Two things. One, it is Kendra's birthday.
Yay.
She's 7. How old are you? 18?
18 right now. As
You know what happens when you turn 18, bro? All
you go
downhill.
to club. Oh.
No.
Oh.
Kendra.
Well, I'm sorry.
Can't go to the club. I mean, I guess you could in theory, but let's
Wait, you can?
Yeah.
When
I
you
thought you had to
18?
be 21.
It depends on the club.
Oh.
Some clubs, yes. Grown-up clubs, you gotta be 21.
Okay.
These childish clubs out here in these streets, 18. So we had a quick intro into Leo's name last week.
Yeah.
Because he was filling in, and then Mr. Virgil showed up, and then we allowed Mr. Virgil to come on the podcast. But Leo's an interesting cat. We want to get to know Leo a lot. So
Yeah.
Leo,
Yeah.
in 5 words, who is Leo?
That's a very good question. And that's my response.
Very good. That's 5 words.
That's my question.
From here?
Yeah.
You from the water?
From Jones Creek, bro.
Gotcha. You from the JC, bro?
Yeah.
Really?
Wow. Sorry.
Very good community.
Is it?
Yeah.
You like it out there?
Very peaceful.
Really?
Nothing much goes on. You just kind
It's
of
pretty quiet out there.
Yeah.
Ghosts? There's got to be some ghosts out there.
Bro,
ghost
I was
stories.
scared as a kid, bro.
Because it's like mad dark too, because there's no like street
Bro,
lights.
I'm like right down the street from like a graveyard.
Oh!
Talk about. It's not like down the street, but more or less, you can pretty much get there
Right.
by walking.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's,
that's
like, There's actually
scary.
history. There's actually history. It's the graveyard that Stephen F. Austin was buried in before he moved to
I've
Austin.
been there before.
Is this scary?
Well, no. It's not scary.
Oh.
So this is gonna sound really wild. You know how like in elementary you do like Texas history, like in I don't know,
Yeah.
4th grade. Our field trip was to that cemetery.
Really?
What a lame field trip. But
He said, what
he
a
was
lame-
originally buried there.
Yeah.
Moses Austin, his dad, was I think still buried there, or originally buried there. But
Right.
like, there's a whole group of the Austin family that's still there in
Yeah.
Jones Creek,
Dang.
where Texas started.
Mhm.
Jones Creek.
Yeah, that's like really weird to think about. That's like how it started, bro.
I know all the people like the Austin family. You know, like Stephen F. Austin, all them. Jones Creek. They're all from the JC. Yeah.
Interesting.
There's a lot of history there. I'm sure there were some evil things that happened in Jones Creek. No offense, but I'm
Yes.
sure there was some bad stuff that happened in Jones Creek.
Yeah.
So you're from the JC. So are you a Stephen F. Austin kid?
Yeah.
Stephen F. Austin, go. What are they?
They're Gators.
No way.
No, they're
Yeah.
not gators, huh?
Yeah, they're Gators.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, there's different. Growing up,
Schools.
there's different because O.A. Fleming was the Dolphins, and then we went to Indians, we went to
Whoa.
Lions.
No, you were not. You were Redskins, fam.
Oh, Redskins.
That's
At
kinda-
FIS.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
I'm surprised they still have that.
Oh, yeah,
That's
me
very
too.
kinda
I
racist.
Yeah.
had to. Wait, when you're at Stephen F. Austin, did you have to do this like Gators?
Oh yeah, actually,
Did you
yeah,
really?
we did.
Nice. I just came up with that in my head. Because if they didn't do that, they should totally do that. It would
Yeah.
That'd be cute.
I agree. I feel like I'm quiet. Am I quiet?
That's what I was saying. I can't.
Don't turn it up too loud, bro.
Okay, that's good.
Bro, he got sensitive ears. Okay.
Sorry.
So you're from Jones Creek,
Yep.
went to Stephen F. Austin, then went to Freeport Elementary where you were a Redskin.
Yes, and then here I am.
There you are. Family? How many kids? Not that you have kids,
Okay.
bro. That was wild. My bad.
Whoa.
No,
Are you, how many siblings?
I got 2.
You got 2?
Yeah.
Both younger?
Yeah,
Okay. You're the
I'm
oldest?
the oldest.
Boy or girl?
Well, I have one sister and one brother.
Okay.
Yeah.
One's a sophomore, one's a freshman.
Oh, they're here?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
Is
That's
that weird?
Yeah, very much.
Yeah.
That's
For
like
the
the
most
little
part, I
gap
was like
year.
out of their lives, and I'm still pretty distant with them. But I mean, just seeing them walk around the school is like,
Just
oh,
because
wait.
that's just.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I'm the oldest.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you're like the boss.
Yeah.
bro.
I don't want to be too strict on their lives because I know, like, you know, they have stuff going on, and I don't
Yeah.
want to be that strict big brother that's always on their always on them.
Up,
Oh,
up. He got close.
oh,
He got
oh,
close. He got
oh.
close. He didn't say it.
Ooh,
I-
that was a close one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta do bleep.
Beep.
Bleep.
So I'm totally assuming here, typical Hispanic family, Mexican family, where like you had to take over, like you had to be the one that helped raise and like take care of when you were like
Pretty
young.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I try
Yeah.
my best to at least be in their lives.
Yeah.
Or like, I mean, I still may be distant with them, but like I always tell them like, if you need anything, I'm always here.
Yeah.
Like if you have a problem with anyone, I'll call up all my boys and we'll jump them.
I like it. You're
That's-
the oldest too, right?
Yes.
Yeah. You did that a lot.
Yes, I did.
I was the baby of the family.
So
So my sister legit ran the house. Whenever my
Aw.
parents were there, she ran the house. However, here's the funny thing. She was very like go out and have fun. So anytime she left the house, because I snitched on her all the time, because they don't get stitches. They don't get stitches. It's a lie. I always had to go. And you know what we do? I was like a little chubby little brother. So they'd be like, "Jaime, we're gonna we'll give you a hamburger." And I'm like, "Okay." Nothing happened, Mom, Dad. They were great. Yeah. That puts a lot of pressure, but it has to be strange. It has to be strange to see like your siblings in the hallways.
it's so weird.
Actually, it's not for me because I was.
But you and Crystal are close
Yeah,
in
we
age.
actually been close like growing up too. Like,
Okay, I hear you. You have a younger brother?
yes, I do.
Imagine your younger brother here. It'd be a little weird.
Yeah.
It would be weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh yeah, see my brother grow up is just like crazy. Because I mean
Yeah.
now he's taller than me. Like it's just so much. It's so.
Yeah.
He's like the big.
It's one of those
the bigger little brother.
Yeah.
Chris was like right there
I
with
can't
me.
tell him nothing no more. It's like, okay, well now you're bigger than me. I
That's funny. Okay, you want to do film?
yes.
Has this always been? We're segueing, bad segue.
Yeah, that's
My bad. Have you always like wanted to do like movies and what was
So,
kid Leo?
Growing up, I was very into like storytelling. Like that was like my thing. I just loved like movies and how they told stories and how characters go from point A to point B. And
Okay, yeah,
the
yeah.
journey, you know.
Yeah.
And originally I was trying to be like an animator, but I realized I kind of suck at drawing.
You gotta draw good to do animation.
Well, you can hire somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, you could, yeah, but
But it's not really-
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I realized it wasn't really like my thing. Like I noticed it's just I don't know. Like creatively, it didn't really like satisfy me. So
okay.
I remember I was in paralysis class, and then like
Is that you?
It's
Oh, that's
my
your bag. I
backpack.
thought I hit you. My bad. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was in paralysis class, and then paralysis is actually the reason why I like want to get into film because she kind of like sparked that interest in me.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah, so thank you, paralysis.
Hashtag
Shout out
Paralysis.
Lisa.
Yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't say her first name.
Wow.
Shout out Paralysis.
Yeah,
Goat.
and ever
One of the
since then,
goats.
I've just been trying to pursue it.
Yeah. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah, I dig really creative people enough that can see that. I love movies. I love watching movies. But I'm more at the level of like interest in the character of what's in front of me,
Yeah.
but not like, oh, that's why.
The
Now there are
background of
certain
it.
movies that I'm like really nerdy about, but like Harry Potter is something I'm super nerdy about. Bro, I used to write fanfics. I swear. I
Really?
Oh,
promise I
well, okay.
did.
This is actually an embarrassing story.
Go ahead.
The way I got my start, like, because like I write a lot,
Right.
And I even like wrote the script for the series we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, it took me forever. It took me like 6 hours, and I was 20 pages in. I'm like, oh my god, this is actually taking forever.
Yeah.
And oh my god, this is gonna be embarrassing, but my start when I was like 10 years old, I would go on the internet and write freaking fan fiction on like some shows. I forgot what shows
That's
they were,
so
but
funny.
it was so weird.
You know what fanfics are, right?
No.
So fanfics are, what's your favorite like series that you've ever read? Like a book.
Okay, so an example. So let's just say you really like Stranger Things, right? And you
Yes.
like, you're interested in like the universe where like these girls have like superpowers because they're experiments or whatever. And,
Right,
like,
right.
yeah. So like a fan fiction will basically be like you write as if you are
writing.
you
for it.
are the person creating the story.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when I was really Harry Potter, you can get deep into the characters of Harry Potter.
Yes.
Super deep. So randomly, as I'm like nerding up about Harry Potter. By the way, I was like a grown person at this point, right? I was not like
You still
15.
are a grown person.
Thank you. But like I was like recently, my wife got me into stupid Harry Potter, and I got so enthralled by the writing of Harry Potter. I was like, there's got to be more. So I looked for what are other things that J.K. Rowling had written. Side note, at this point she's kind of canceled, but whatever.
Yeah.
So I stumbled upon a fanfic website, and I was like, these are genius. And I like went into it, and I started writing one, and I was like, what am I? I'm a grown up. I'm done. I stopped. But they were interesting. I used to have theories on the new book that was going to come out, like what the theory behind it, and I would come up with it, and I would have dialogue with people, like we would have conversations of like people who would be, yeah, you can get really into it.
Yeah, but like that's
It's-
kind of
you
like
can
why
get
I got
super
into
deep.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's the plan? You want to do film in college?
Yeah.
Do you have a school in mind, or do you have a couple schools in mind that you're like?
You see,
this
it's
would be
really
dope?
hard because I live in Texas and like I feel like
There's not a lot.
there's not a lot.
Yeah.
And like the option I was thinking of is in Dallas, but my parents are very they don't really want me to go to Dallas, you know.
Yeah.
It's very
Nobody likes
expensive.
Dallas. It's okay.
Yeah. And yeah, it's just been very hard.
There's not film schools like in Austin.
I haven't seen any.
Yeah.
Like I know some people just go to UT for that, but it's like, do I really want to go to UT? I don't know.
But you're not trying to act. You're not trying to be in
I
front
mean,
of the
I'm down for it.
Yeah.
Like my whole perspective is that like, you know, I'm willing to go through any obstacle I have to. You know, if
That's
I have
a great mentality.
Yeah.
It is.
That's really good.
Yeah, like so. I mean, I'm not gonna call out like some people in my group, but you know, some of them are very complacent, and I try to like lead them and go like, all right, guys, we gotta get up and do something today.
Right.
We need to like finish this. Okay, we can't just sit around and dilly dally.
Yeah.
Dilly dally. I don't know. And yeah, I try to like that's just my mindset. Like, because my dad always taught me like hard work will get you places, and
Agreed.
I just
100%.
You just need to work hard.
Yeah.
Like you can literally do anything as long as you work hard enough.
You know how like people are like college is a scam?
Yeah.
I understand the concept. I do. It costs very much. It's a lot of things. But you know what honestly a college degree does?
What?
It shows that you can push. It shows that you can withstand the pressure of college and the workload and all that. You know what I mean? Like certain places like you want to be an orthodontist, of course she has to go to medical school. That makes sense. You can't be like a carpenter and become an orthodontist. Maybe you could.
Yeah.
But we'll use teaching as an example. If you have a bachelor's degree, you can have a bachelor's degree and still teach something that isn't within that bachelor's degree because they need people who can do it. You can do the alt cert, you can become a whatever. There's exams you have to take, like certification. But really, you need the degree. And in my opinion, a college degree shows that you're willing to do work and you can last long enough to earn that degree.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I feel that's important for people to know because I feel like recently people have been like boycotting college.
They've been poo-pooing on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think that okay, I understand that's a lot of money and that you don't necessarily need it for most things, but like, you know, there's still some respect in having a degree.
Right. There's a degree in a lot of universities for teaching that a lot of people get, which is called interdisciplinary studies. So interdisciplinary studies basically says I went to college and took a bunch of different classes, and I got a degree. I earned the amount of hours or the credits in order to get the degree. At the high school level or the education level, an interdisciplinary degree is genius because you can literally teach anything. Science, you have enough science to teach it. Math, you have enough math to teach it. History, you got it. So like because it's so diverse in what you have to get the college classes in, it's really great for education because when you go to get a certification, they go off of how many hours you had in a certain subject. So you've had a bunch of hours in a bunch of different subjects. You're eligible to go get all those certifications, and then like at a school, you can do anything.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope. Okay.
But like for you teachers, it's like a lot of work to just get a degree and like not even get paid that much.
Oh, brother.
I
We
feel
could be
I
here for
have so
days.
much sympathy for
We
like
don't
the
get paid
teachers.
enough.
So why did you become a teacher? Like, what made you go through that?
My wife said to be a teacher.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me that story.
There was no massive plan. It was just my wife in nursing. When you're a nurse, you work crazy hours.
Yeah.
Even if you're working days, you're working 12s, right? So you're never there. So one of us had to be there when the kids got home to help out with stuff. She's way smarter than me. You ever heard the saying, you outkicked your coverage?
No.
You ever heard of the saying?
No.
So the mentality behind outkicking your coverage is that you as an individual person, it's a football reference. When you punt, you want to make sure the coverage can stop the ball. When you outkick your coverage, you're just like chunking it out there and hoping for the best. My wife is way smarter than me, way better looking than me. Everything that we do, like she should be with somebody that is way better than me. I lucked out.
I mean, teachers still look. I mean, in my opinion, I feel like teachers. I mean, one, deserve to get paid more, and two, you guys work really hard. Like
you just said the D word.
Oh wait, that's a swear word.
We'll count it as a swear word.
Okay.
It's a school. It's okay.
Okay, whatever.
I agree with you. No, so like one of the things with teaching though is like I'm really good at talking to people. So my wife was like, you should probably do that because you love talking to people. And she's right. I really love talking to people. So it made sense. Here's where I get the whole like we really should get paid more. In my viewpoint, in any other world that you're a 10-year vet, you're getting paid really well in whatever company you're at. If you work for Dow, after 10 years, you're making really good money. After 15, you're making really good money. Okay, I'm not giving you specifics. However, there is definitely teachers on here who have been in this working as an educator for 30 years that only really make about $5,000 more than a brand new teacher. $5,000 after 30 years, bro. $5,000.
That's
That's
ridiculous.
nothing. A 30-year vet should be making like almost 6 figures. Like legit, they should be because they've been doing it for 30 years. They've earned the money.
And the conditions you have to go through. Like I've seen like there's this one teacher my freshman year. Her name was like Miss Dallard, right? And she taught art, and I just saw her like go from a very optimistic teacher. She was very happy, you know.
Yeah.
She wanted to help people and encourage people to do art or whatever.
Yeah.
And I just saw her like break down as
Oh,
each week goes by,
brother.
and then she eventually just quit.
I think
That passion, like I just saw the passion in her eyes to teach just go away.
I think there are teachers who do this for that passion. They're here to help people out. We really got off on a tangent, but it's okay. There are people here who really do this for what the right reasons to do it. There are people here who like, it's whatever. I'll just do this paycheck, whatever. I think that the vast majority of people in the teaching career, at some point in their career, they're gonna cry because like this is heavy work.
Yeah.
How many times do we have just live conversations? How many times have we had, you and I have had just live conversations? Do you think I do that more than like actual teach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
I think that good, like solid teachers in this building, in any schoolhouse building, they're here to help people out. And so, yeah, we have to deal with a lot.
Yeah.
But listen, I need to get paid like $150,000 dealing with people like Kendra. Oh my God,
Yeah.
she's the worst.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not even asking for like crazy money, but I do think that there should be more.
Is there actually like a reason why you guys haven't like got paid more? Like, is there like a reason in the law that?
I don't know. There's not like a law, but I think that other professions are more valued because of the concept of what they do. But if you think about it, think of any person that is famous, that has won a Nobel Peace Prize, that has invented something that cured something, president, what do they all have in common?
They all have a teacher.
They all have a teacher. We're valuable enough to teach people the future of this world, but we're not valuable enough to like get paid for it. Come on, man.
Yeah.
You also lose out on really potentially good people, right? I know people who did it teaching for a couple years and they loved it. However, because of the pay, they went somewhere else to get more money. There's a lot of people, the plants hire teachers all the time.
Really?
Yeah, because they need people who are organized. They need people who can lead, who are natural leaders, people who can talk in front of other people. And so like they will, as soon as they hear about a teacher that's like iffy on teaching anymore, I know a lot of people that'll be 25 years in and teaching and they go get paid almost double like that working in the plants because they need people who can lead. They need people who can speak.
Yeah, it's a very important.
Because oftentimes engineers are not the most people.
Yeah.
You need people in places like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we got off on a mad tangent. Go ahead.
Conspiracy theories?
Yes.
Okay.
I feel like you have a lot of them.
I do, but I can't remember one.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to think
Like,
when
you
you're
put
on
me
the
on the
spot.
spot,
Yeah. It's with the fact that we said the same time.
Yeah,
it's kinda
You
good.
and I have said such at the same time already today. Okay, so what are some things that are out there that you think, man, something's up? We've talked about
I have
aliens.
one.
We've
Wait.
talked about aliens and mermaids before. Go
I
ahead.
have one. Megalodons.
You think they're real?
I still think they're real. I saw this thing, and they had implanted 2 tracking things on 2 great white sharks.
Yep.
They both disappeared.
Because they got too low.
They got way too low.
I'm telling you, there's got to be
I'm
some things in the
telling
bottom of that ocean that are just
It scares
gnarly,
me. My
bro.
heart is dropping right now. It
Bro.
scares me. It scares me so
Gnarly,
much
bro.
to think about
Ocean is
that.
not cool, man.
No, I
It's
agree.
not. I'm so
My
scared.
biggest
of the
fear is like a colossal squid. Those things.
Oh.
Have you seen one?
Yes.
No, I haven't
so
seen one.
sometimes what happens is like if like if you're really deep into the ocean and fishers will sometimes like throw down nets or like lines to catch things. Sometimes they have caught these like 50-foot
No
squid,
way.
bro. Like
Bro,
for
it's
real,
like a
like
kraken.
legit, and
Swear.
they bring it up and they're like forever long. They're giant.
How did they bring it up
And
with
they have
that
like
little
claws
boat?
on their tentacles, and they have like eyes the size of heads. Like,
Yeah, it's wild because they're huge. They're like
they're
50 footers.
apex predators.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Wait, so
like,
how do
if
they pull them up?
Like oftentimes they'll be baited with like not like okay when we think about bait we're like oh little shrimp put it on a hook and the fish will eat it. We're talking like it'll have like a tuna, like a dead tuna on it, and they'll drop it weighted all the way as far as they can go just to see what they can catch. And sometimes they'll catch things like that, and they're wild. The one time I saw this one, they were like really deep somewhere and it was really deep in the ocean, and they found this like shark that didn't have a dorsal fin because it didn't need it because it was a bottom feeder. So it just like moved along the bottom and ate things, and it happened to get near it and they caught it and it went all the way up. And it didn't have a need for a dorsal fin because it wasn't a surface animal. It was so deep, it evolved to not have one.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
Wild, fam. Let me tell you something that I don't understand.
Here we go. Go ahead.
What's in Antarctica?
Ice.
No, it's not. No, sir.
What?
No, sir. Google Earth images of Antarctica. There are places in Antarctica that do not have an image. It's black because there's something going on in Antarctica that as the polar caps melt, they're finding things out that they don't know about.
Like what?
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm convinced that
Just
there's
penguins, bro.
yeah, it could be. No, it's not penguins. I'm telling you, I think that there's more there. Why is almost every civilized country have a research base there? Why? What are they researching in the ice? What's in the ice that they need to
Oh,
know?
that's a good point. Yeah, what are they trying to look for?
Oh, I wouldn't think it would be the ice. I thought it was just the animals in general.
Well, the only animals that are in Antarctica are
Like
like
polar bears, right?
no, that's
No?
the bottom. Arctic, yes,
Oh, okay.
but like there's penguins.
Yeah.
Clearly, and there's fish there. But I'm saying that I think there's something that they're finding in the ice. Like I think there's gonna be dinosaurs there. If the theory
You
of
think
Pangea is
so?
legit, like right, everything was once combined, and then everything as plate tectonics happened, it like spread out. I'm okay. I'm good with that.
Like dinosaurs,
you mean
like,
like
or
fossils?
like fossils?
I think there's fossils there that they don't know about, and they're
Okay,
finding
that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I was thinking.
and
Yeah.
they're finding them,
'Cause they
and
can't-
it's like completely different type of creatures that they've never seen.
Because they're cold-blooded, so they can't just survive there. So
Right.
Yeah.
I also think there might be bacteria in there. I think they're finding viruses that they've never found before. This is a little bit
wait,
off of a tangent, but I think that
And like you
there's.
freeze them too, so like they survive longer.
Oh yeah,
Oh my god.
I think there's something in Antarctica that they're not telling us about because it's very. You can't. There's certain places you can go visit, right? There are boats that come from the like southern tip of South America that will go and you can actually be in Antarctica. There are legitimately places that you cannot go unless you work for the government or the military.
What
I'm just
the
saying, bro.
heck?
If countries
Wow.
have research bases there, there's something going on. What are they researching in the ice, fam?
I guess freaking dinosaurs.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just global warming stuff that they're researching because you can do that in the Arctic. You can do that in Greenland. There's glaciers that are melting all the time. I'm just saying that there's something there in Antarctica. There's something there. I don't know what.
Bueno, you got my head going.
I'm very curious.
Wow.
What about
I'm
you?
very
What's yours?
curious.
I don't know. There's not much. That's a solid theory, I guess.
Yeah, it makes me wonder. Also, like, why do we spend so much in the military? Why do we outspend everyone?
Oh wait, yeah. The United States has like the highest pay on like the military.
We spend more annually on our military than any other country. Like the top 5 countries.
top 5 combined.
Why?
Really?
What kind of research are we doing in the military that we need to spend that kind of money? We don't need that many tanks, fam.
Yeah.
Everything's electric. You don't need tanks.
Yeah.
You have drones now. Why do you need so much money on this stuff? Do you know what's number 3 in the most spent like concept like for defense?
What?
So number 1 is the U.S. We spend the most militarily. Number 2 I think is India. You want to know what number 3 is?
Russia,
Nope.
China,
It's not even a different country. Police force.
California. Oh,
It's our police force. America spends more money on our police than most countries spend on their military, like country military. We
Really?
spend on law enforcement. Yep.
that's a lot of money.
I see they have in the police. They have some cars that are so unnecessary.
Okay, this is if anybody in Freeport PD watches this, like the city of Freeport, don't come at me.
We support you guys.
We
to an
love
extent,
you.
to an
We
extent.
got yeah, right? Why they got a Humvee? Now I know it was probably at a
Wait, is that the little blue car?
No, that big giant car that they have at the Freeport.
Oh, okay.
That's a military personnel. That's a military.
But what
grade.
about that blue car? What is that blue car called? You know which one I'm talking
Oh,
about?
blue car?
They have like this blue car. And it has like police on it or whatever.
Is it like super fancy?
Yes, it's like a fast car.
Bro, they be Dodge Chargers. What does police need Dodge Chargers for? But back to my thing. What happens is the military will like have these like sales on like stuff that they don't need anymore, and oftentimes they will sell it to police forces. So the United States police law enforcement is number 3 in spending on things. I'm just saying when you start to militarize your common everyday neighborhood cop,
So
and they got like
Is that
Humvees.
why people are trying to do like the whole defund the police thing?
That's part of it. I just like I feel like there should be a very separate military look and a peace officer look.
Yeah.
And I think what's happening is there's this weird combo of it, and there shouldn't be.
Yeah.
That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, I just think cops should just be like, people that just make sure nothing goes bad.
Like I remember growing up, like cops were just like, not that they're not, but I remember a day when people were like, they would go to schools and meet kids, and like kids would want to be like talk to them, and they were approachable. I'm not saying that cops are not, like law enforcement are not, but the perception right now is they're not as approachable and friendly as they used to be, and they need to go back to community people that. Yeah.
Okay, I have a question for y'all.
Go.
So, I assume y'all are like Hispanic, right?
Yes.
Do you guys have this is like a genuine question. Do you guys have any fear when it comes to like you get pulled over by police?
Oh.
Wait, what?
When you get like pulled over by police or like the police stop
Yes.
you?
Okay, wait. No, because I see a police and I automatically get scared. Even though I'm going the speed limit, even if I'm doing everything right, I get scared still. I don't know why.
I think that everyone has unconscious bias. You gotta go, don't you?
What time is we got a 15, right?
Yeah, you gotta go.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna have a replacement.
Joaquin.
His replacement is Joaquin
Let's go,
and
We're going.
Scene. So I think everybody has an unconscious bias, whether they like it or not. I'm gonna get hate for this. I know I am. But
Okay,
just
we'll
hear
stand
me
with
out.
you. We'll stand
Okay,
with you.
Hear me out. Everyone, at some level, has a racial bias, whether you intend to have it or not. And this could be because perception, right? What you see in the TVs, what you see stereotypically, whatever. Everyone, I think, is naturally innate, will have that as they grow, right? I think the fear that people have of law enforcement, fair or unfair, is a unconscious bias that you see. What do we see all the time on social media that deal with police, law enforcement?
Oh man, he
Black
pulled me
people
over for
getting
no
hurt.
reason. Yeah.
People getting pulled over for blah, 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 blah. We see a lot of that. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, it's on Instagram, it's on Twitter, it's on TikTok, whatever, right? So because we are inundated with that information, I think that we unconsciously create a bias. Oh, so you can scoot up, bro. I don't know why you're so far behind.
Hello.
You can scoot up. That way you don't have to do that. Okay, you're good.
Boogie.
We have an unconscious bias because of it. And I think that naturally people who are minorities have a, whether legitimate or unconscious fear that we get.
Yeah.
I am 100% anytime I'm in a car and I drive by a cop, I'm going to look in my mirrors to see if he's turning around.
Yeah.
My assumption is that they're going to turn around. They don't even know. I don't even know if they can see me clearly as a brown person.
It's just like the culture around like police. It's
Yeah.
just very much a fear. Like when you let's say you have a kid, right? And like you're trying to scare him to like not do something, right? Like don't go down the street.
I'm going to call the
or something.
police.
Yeah,
That's
like,
exactly what happens.
you'll say, I'm gonna call. Oh, you better not go, or else the boogeyman will get you.
Or
say
something, right?
Yeah, you just say the police is gonna get you.
Right.
Yeah, and it's just like that. You grow up fearing the police, and then so like when you just see a police officer, you're naturally gonna feel that way.
Right.
And since you're also like a minority, it's
Right.
Yeah, it just adds to that.
I agree with you. I think there is an unconscious thing that we have, right or wrong. But I also think that people should be taught how to interact.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes people aren't. Have we had the conversation about when? No, you don't have a license yet.
I mean,
But we've had these conversations.
went over it. Why
Yeah.
not?
What are the things you're supposed to do if you get pulled over? Okay, so what are some things that we talked about when it comes to driving and you get pulled over?
Keep your hands visible at
Yep.
all times.
Oh yeah, always just keep on the wheel.
Always keep your hands visible.
Always have your hands visible.
If you're gonna reach for your registration,
You gotta tell them.
You tell them, I'm
I'm
gonna reach
doing this
for
thing,
it.
yeah.
So don't you
Yeah.
reach for it.
Yeah.
Whatnot.
Those are important.
And also,
General-
like
general
if
just be
if you're
polite.
with anyone else, make sure they record just in case. You know, like I hate that you guys say that, but like,
Yeah.
like
Word.
it's just kind of like the
Well, and I think that whenever it comes to recording, what people get into it with anybody that you record is like it's not visible recording. When you're trying to do it in secret, it seems like you're trying to catch them. I think I don't know this.
well, you have
I'm
a
not-
right to record.
Right. But I also think that law enforcement should want people to record because their body camera sometimes it's faulty, just like any electronic. So having that aspect. The other thing that I always talk about is one of the things that people think they have to do, which they don't, is they have to answer all the questions. And by law, you don't. There's an end game to that, though. You're playing a long game if you decide not to talk to anybody in police. But I think there's a way to have conversations with police officers that can keep you out of trouble versus how not to have conversations with police officers to keep you in trouble.
And I know in driver's ed, they actually like have a whole like lesson where they tell you, all right, guys, chances are police are racist, so like try not to argue with them. Like they actually teach you. Like,
Again, there's an unconscious bias.
Yeah.
Whether you want it there or not, like there is an unconscious bias. We got
and
off on
especially
another
since we live in
tangent.
Texas,
Leo, you get me in tangents, buddy.
I just got here.
I know you're good. All right, other conspiracy. Do you have a conspiracy theory that you think is legit? That you are like, ooh.
Have we already talked about QAnon, bro?
Oh
Hey,
my
have you
god.
brought up
No.
QAnon already?
No, we have
Bro,
not.
bring up QAnon. Come on.
Okay.
Wait, what even is QAnon? I just hear it as like an alt-right thing or whatever.
Okay, so QAnon originated. Oh, this is sad that I know this much. So QAnon originated from this site called like 4chan.
Oh,
So
no.
4chan was the original.
No.
Yeah, so
Not 4chan.
So it was just like a board that people would go and have conversations about things that they believe were real or whatever. It didn't originally start as a conspiracy type vibe, but it became that. And 4chan was the original from way back in the day. Like this was like early 2010s, probably even before that 4chan was a thing. So their original conspiracies were not necessarily politically biased. They were just conspiracies. Like, I can't think of
It's
them.
probably like aliens. That's probably
Aliens were started part of it.
Reptilians.
Right.
Ooh.
Lizard people, all these weird things. Oh, they have the ability to sound wave to control bodies or whatever. Like,
Word.
if you eat this, blah, blah, blah. It was just weird stuff.
Yeah.
It turned political around when President Obama was in office, right before then. So the thing that became this weird thing that 4chan had, that became the basis of QAnon, was Pizzagate. I'm not going to get into it.
Okay.
But Pizzagate basically is, people were convinced that there was this democratic, like liberal-led pizza parlor that were stealing babies, like stealing children,
Oh.
and like human trafficking them.
Wow.
That's what the basis behind it. Well, people got into it and were really deep into it. Like at one point, somebody shot up the pizza place that they thought was the place in D.C. It was not. This dude was just like had been there for years. It was a family-run pizza business, but they were convinced that in the basement they were like stealing babies and all this.
Did they find babies in the basement?
No, the dude shot him up and got in trouble, and he's in prison forever probably.
Yeah.
Because it was essentially like it was a terroristic threat because he read it, he believed it, and he wanted to kill the people inside. Anyway.
Wow.
So then QAnon came about that when around the 2016 election. So I'm not here to call anybody out, but essentially what happened pre-2016 or 2016 election was you had a bunch of people on the Republican side led by Donald Trump, and then you had Hillary Clinton and the Democratic side, right?
Yeah.
So what happens whenever elections happens is people try to find dirt on your opponent, and it's called smear mongering or whatever. The QAnon people did it to sway elections, to try to sway the election. I'm not going to sit here and argue that Donald Trump he got elected. It's what it is. Hillary lost, right? However, what led into that was a lot of misinformation online that QAnon created. If you haven't seen the QAnon documentary that HBO did, they figured out who the guy is. But he's openly said he just did it just as a haha.
Yeah, that's their whole thing, right? Like,
right. It's just
4chan is very much like we're not going to do anything for the sake of like a message or for politics. We do it just to mess with people.
Right. And unfortunately, people are gullible enough to think that anything that's on the internet is real.
Yeah.
Which, if we all know the internet, the vast majority of the internet is absolutely made up.
Cap.
Right.
Much cap.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of cap because people are bored and they want things to do. So it led to things. So what happened January 6th was QAnon led. So people were on these QAnon type channels talking to each other about like, no, this is wrong, blah, 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 blah. And then let's go storm the Capitol, which is the wildest thing in the world to do.
I remember that happening. And like I was in Mr. Day's class in my sophomore year, and then
Yeah.
Mr. Day was on his phone. He's like, "Oh yeah, they're storming the Capitol." I'm like, "What?"
Bro, so
And they did it.
I'm in this is when I was in the room 500, right? In the 500 hallway. So I'm in that class, and I also get notices about it, right? Because I follow a bunch of like news outlets. And I go to CNN online, and I'm projecting it. And I'm just like, I'm sitting there. It's like 7th period, and I'm like, what is happening, bro?
That was the craziest
That was
event,
wild.
bro.
Yeah. So like those type of things, what happens, like legit, there's just some dude that just decided to make up some lie, and people just believe it. Unfortunately, the people who have a tendency to buy into these lies are elder people.
Like Alex Jones.
Yes.
You know Alex Jones? Oh my god, that guy's a whole rabbit hole.
Bro, he's a whole character.
Bro.
I'm glad that he lost his suit. I'm glad they got to sue him. I'm glad that the Sandy Hook people sued him for a bunch of money.
That was ridiculous, man. The things he was saying.
Everything that he got, he deserves to lose a bunch of money for that, because You have the right to say what you want, right, under the First Amendment, but you can't slander, you can't liable. Like you can't say
You're
things that are
driving your
false.
audience to harass the families that
Right.
lost their child.
Right,
That's
which
crazy.
is wild.
Yeah.
That dude's crazy.
He's a character.
He's a whole like he thinks he's definitely everybody's main character in everybody's story.
Yeah.
Like that's the type of dude he is. But no, man, conspiracy. I wish that more people. Part of the reason why I think that this is a thing, especially on the political side, why conspiracy theories like spread so wildly, is because people don't do this. They don't communicate anymore. They don't have conversations face to face. Everything is done online on the board.
And also that is people want to feel like they're onto something, that they're about to blow up a case, you know? I
Right.
think everyone just wants to be like a main
I
character.
legitimately had a conversation not that long ago with somebody who told me that there was snake venom in the COVID vaccine and in the COVID like actual thing, like an actual corona. And because there was snake venom, that means it was man-made. And she's telling me this, and I'm just like,
Bro does not know how science works. He
I'm
did
like-
not pass biology.
no. Also, proteins are in everything. Hello,
Yeah.
like
Goofy.
why? And she's like serious about it, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah, she clearly didn't.
Well, it's just
Okay.
they're victims of like, you know, the social media world and just
Yeah.
the things they look at.
The big
Yeah.
capital men.
That's a whole other conspiracy, bro. The people who are Mark Zuckerberg, that
Man.
dude is weird.
Bro, that
He
man's
founded
on something.
Facebook. He did something.
I-
He did something.
Bro, like the whole like social media, like people like the stories behind them is just some guy at 20 years old just creates like a little app to talk to his friends and it becomes like a big political like machine,
Yeah.
you know? Like in Twitter.
Twitter's wild too.
Who
The
made
Yeah.
fact, I don't know, but the fact that Elon Musk is trying to buy that Joker or buy into it is
He
wild. to me.
definitely could. He has enough money for it.
Man, Elon Musk used to walk around with emeralds in his pocket. That dude is not normal. His parents
Like-
used to have
You have to be a sociopath or a psychopath
you
to
have
be
to be a little
billionaire.
crazy, 100%.
Yeah.
Well, at that level, so Elon Musk's family had like a mine in apartheid South Africa, and so like he grew up with like legit emeralds and diamonds in his pocket because that was normal for him. So he came from like a ton of money. Also, people who have that kind of money aren't normal. You can't have $1 billion. Your net worth can't be $1 billion, and you just have a normal conversation with people like down the street.
Yeah.
You can't, because you end up being isolated, right? Because anything you want, you can get. So you isolate yourself, and then you become weird. If you look at pictures of Mark Zuckerberg from like 2010 to now, he's a completely different human being. Like he doesn't even look the same.
Yeah.
They like morph into this weird whateverness.
Lizard monster.
Lizard monster.
And Jeff Bezos, that man's also crazy.
Yeah, that dude's out there too.
Bro.
I think it's weird that people are like, let me go to space for fun. Bro, for
Why?
fun.
Why?
Okay, but if I have the opportunity to go to space and I find something weird out there and I become a Power Ranger, that's a wrap.
Well, you're not
That's
even
a wrap.
You're not even just going to
Donnie,
space.
did you just hear this?
That's a wrap.
If he goes to space and becomes a Power Ranger.
That's a wrap.
That's what he just said.
That's a wrap.
A Power Ranger.
There's got to be something else.
That's wild. That's a little bit. Oh, I can't wait for us to legitimately go to Mars too. I think there's things there that we're going to be amazed by.
I hope it's Power Rangers.
There's not going to be Power Rangers in
Yes.
Mars. Space is another thing that freaks me out.
Oh my god, yeah.
But
I
pictures
remember-
of spaces.
Oh,
The-
pictures
the-
of
the
space
web-
are
the
dope.
web
Yeah,
telescope.
yeah, I agree. But like the thought process behind space is weird to me.
Yeah.
That's so.
The fact that it's like a thing.
It's a vacuum.
Cosmic horror is just like it was one of the scariest things to me. Like
Oh,
just like Lovecraft stuff, like Cthulhu out there in space,
Yeah.
just like doing stuff. Nah.
Yeah. You ever? I don't know if we've talked about this on the podcast, but there's a memoir from the. You know how like the people that went to the moon. There was the 3 of them. 2 of them went onto the actual surface. One of them had to man the craft that they were on. So he has a memoir. The guy that was, I can't remember his name, that was in the craft. And there's a moment when they were on the opposite side of the moon, on the dark side of the moon, where he loses communication for 15 minutes with everyone. The people that the 2 that are on the moon, he lost communication with Houston. So he had no comps for 15 minutes. And in his memoir, he talks about how that was the most alone he had ever felt, and how like it almost drove him mad. The 15 minutes,
For
just 15 minutes, bro.
Just like because there's
Just
nothing.
15, nothing,
No
Nothing.
sound,
nothing.
No beeping.
No one can hear you. No one can communicate with you. You literally are in dark with nothing.
Oh.
It
Ah,
almost
you give
drove.
me
I know,
goosebumps.
right? It's kind of wild. You know, like those sensory chambers that they have where you can like float in water and you
Oh,
don't
yeah,
feel
yeah.
anything. I couldn't do that, dude.
People
I
go
would
mad
lose.
after
I
that.
would lose it.
Bro, no. No.
There's certain levels to it. They go it's like the water, and then like the water and like nothing near you water.
Right.
It's like it only gets worse. Honestly.
Yeah.
Just imagine being stuck in like the moon though, and like you can't go.
You can't
back.
get out. Ugh.
Bro. That I don't know how it's.
That's why space is weird to me.
Yeah.
It's so wild. How we're revolving around the sun on an axis.
You know what's weird? We know more about space than our own oceans. Just remember that.
It's hard to look in
remember
the
that,
ocean.
bro.
It's true.
Because like you can easily look at a telescope and just see, oh yeah, it's dark. But like with the ocean, you gotta go in the ocean to like see what's
And
in
you
there.
can't go that far.
I'd do it.
You can't swim that deep, bro.
Oh,
I mean, you
speaking
could,
of
but
bro, the ocean's so deep. Like, so y'all know like blobfish, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So like they're not like that. Like they're just normal fish that are like down there, they're just really deep. But like when fishermen pull them up, they just get so messed up because the pressure is just like, yeah, they lose all their nerves and they just look all ugly, and then we make fun of them.
I think it's funny to think of Everest being the highest thing that we have, right? That's the highest peak. But like Everest on the lowest part of the like ocean floor is nothing.
I know.
You can put like 4 Everests or 5 Everests in the ocean.
You won't even hit the bottom.
No, it's wild. We're back on oceans.
Yeah. Oh my god.
We're talking about crazy things today, guys. We're just going ad lib. Danya, do you have any conspiracy theories? No?
Lame.
Mountains are cool though.
Mountains are cool.
I want to climb
I
one.
climb a mountain.
I love going hiking in the mountains. It's fun.
It just sounds fun. Like I just really
Yeah.
want to do that.
But is it fun for your knees?
No.
I didn't think so.
But I'm okay with you don't remember. Do you remember the elk?
Yeah.
We were in Washington State. We have family up in Washington. It's like north of Seattle. So Washington has a peninsula that is the whole thing is basically a national park. So there's an area that you can go climbing in the mountains. It's called Hurricane Ridge. So you drive up. It's like a 30-minute drive up to the mountain, and then there's trails that go off of it. So we go in like early June, and it's still snowing in the mountains in early June. So we get to the park, and they're like, stay on the paved ones, don't go off of it. But anything that is snow covered, you can't use it. But if it's clear, you can go on. So we're doing trails. So at one point we get to this trail, and it's like not. I use the word cliff. That's the best way to describe it. But it was like a super gradual down, right, from where the trail is.
That's called something. What's it called?
But it's not like a cliff where it's like immediate. But there's like a gradual, right?
Yeah,
it's like a valley.
it's a
almost
slope.
Thank you.
Erosion.
So
What?
the trail itself is maybe 3 feet wide, right? So it's me in the front. It's JP, who at the time my oldest son is maybe like 9. Joaquin was maybe 4 or 5. He's behind me, and then my wife is at the back end. So we're walking this trail, and it's beautiful, right? Everything is either snow-capped or green. It's beautiful. And I hear something rustling on the other side of like the little bank that's right there. And it was an elk. So for those people that don't know, elks are deer but on steroids. Now they're not moose big, right? But they're huge. And this was a female, not a male. It was just a female. And I stop, and I'm like, don't move. And this giant monster of an animal just like climbs over this little embankment onto the trail and then like looks at us. And I'm like, go backwards. So I'm telling my wife like to start going backwards. And these things are graceful. This thing like looks at us. We're on the trail, looks back at the trail, and then looks down on this slope that goes into this valley. And she's just like, deuces, and just takes off down the thing. I'm freaking out because I have a 4-year-old behind me and a 9-year-old. Like in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna have to fight this deer. I'm gonna have to fight this elk right now. We're gonna have to throw gloves. I'm gonna have to fight this thing. It didn't attack us.
Oh.
It
Thank
just looked
the
at you
Lord.
majestically, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
Wait, you
real.
don't carry like a gun just in case something happens?
Bro, no.
No.
We flew. How are we gonna have a gun if we?
Oh,
flew
that's
to
right.
Washington
That's
State,
right.
bro? This wasn't
Or like
down
a
the
pocket
road.
knife, or like, do you
No.
have anything?
No, it was just us
4
walking.
and 9, bro. 4
Yeah.
and 9. Come on now.
We
You
were
got,
just-
4 and 9-year-olds.
Yeah, we just walking on this trail like crazy people, like not even thinking about there's animals here that could attack us.
Worth.
Yeah.
Because you're not. What's gonna attack you here? A gator maybe, but you can run from it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They run
Like-
pretty fast.
A deer maybe, but like not an elk. I didn't think we were gonna see an elk, bro. That was in my
God.
checklist of things that I'm gonna encounter
But you've seen
in
it,
Washington. I've seen it now.
You can put
It
it
was
on the
dope.
list.
Good story. I felt like I was there.
Yeah, thank you.
I was there.
You were
Oh,
there
yeah, he was there.
as baby Joaquin. All right, we're going everywhere with this. We gotta wrap it up.
Yeah.
We appreciate it.
Yep.
I think we got to know you a little bit better.
Mhm.
I hope you know what, man. I hope the film career, like
I'm very passionate about it.
Bro, I
I'm
hope it-
trying to like
I hope it
perfect
goes
the
somewhere for
craft.
real,
He's
man.
finna
I
lock in.
I hope it goes somewhere, man.
Yeah.
It would be dope to see somebody from the water, from the JC, be like,
Yeah, because I want to
nominated.
be that person for like some people, just like I'm just like a regular dude who just was here and then like I went on to be something,
I hear you.
Yo.
I just want people to like look at me and go like, okay, so I can.
So he can't.
Oh, if Leo can do it, 100% I can.
Oh yeah, of course. I'm no one special.
You're
Leo.
Leo. You're special.
Yeah.
Hey.
Sure.
There you go. All right, guys. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks to Leo. Thanks for walking in, for jumping in for 2 seconds while Kendra had to go celebrate her birthday. Happy birthday, Kendra. Like and subscribe. Make sure you follow the other stuff. We had the Beatport podcast.
Put on the bell.
Beatport broadcast. Sorry. Ring the bell. Ring the bell for the notifications so you can know when everything's coming up. We're gonna have a special guest next week.
Oh yeah, don't spoil it.
I'm not gonna spoil it.
I
I'm
don't
not
know
gonna
what
spoil
it
it, but it's pretty dope. I don't know how we did this, but he's gonna come and it's gonna be dope. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
It's my dad. Oh my god.
Peace out, guys.